thing. Oh, this is the wrong. Okay, we're still good. Testing. 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 Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm reading. I have a Pomodoro timer. I'm gonna set it. It's gonna go. I'm gonna hopefully read the whole time. I might talk about what I'm reading. I might not. Blah blah blah. I have an hour and 15 minutes to finish this. And then I need to turn it in, so we're gonna focus and go. Hi, Ceci. Oh, thank you. It's new. Well, it's not new. Well, yeah, it's new. Like last week new. Thank you. Yeah, it took the whole day and I was so tired and I don't like going, but it's once a year. I tell the lady, look, I'm sorry if you want upkeep, but I'm gonna probably come back again in a year, maybe a year and some months, and then, yeah. So I just hate coming to the salon. It's a lot of energy. But I like how I look. And it's a lot of money. But she understood. She was very nice. Okay. Chapter 10. Oh my god, this is gonna be boring. Might be boring. Differentiated needs, MTSS, section 504. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is only pertinent if you're going into school counseling. Well, or if you have a child and they have special needs. Section 504, special education and individualized education. And maybe everyone should know about the education system so they're more informed. How are you feeling about it? How do you like it? And how are you feeling? I'm good. I'm just overwhelmed, but like not in a bad way. In my own, I started summer school. I'm taking 2 classes. They're not going to be super hard, but every class has work, like a lot of work and a lot of reading. So it's staying on top of that. Plus, and I'm about to go to Chicago tomorrow. Maybe I shouldn't be telling people where I'm going. Just forget that. Well, you don't know what part. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyways, so I haven't packed or done anything because I procrastinate. And then I have read tonight from 8 to 11. So I'm like, fuck. I need to finish this, and then I need to go do that, and then I need to eat, and then I need to read, and then I need to sleep, and then I need to catch my flight tomorrow. So it's just, you know, ADHD. Yay. Pizza. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm hungry. See, this is my brain. I did so many things today that I shouldn't have done. Look, wherever my board is. All those things. I don't know why I did all those things. I didn't have to. Well, it's because, you know, ADHD and I was procrastinating. But now I'm going to read this. Okay, bye. I mean, not bye. But it's so good to see you. I missed you. It's been a long time. How are you? Are you good? Did you start school? What are you doing? Write all that while I read. And then I'll look after I read. And go. Unless you have to go. Then obviously I understand. And it was good to talk to you. But maybe you're typing. Okay, shut up. Okay, by the time you have completed this chapter, you should be able to discuss the role of a school counselor in supporting students with differentiated needs to achieve a quality education, describe a MTSS multi-tiered system of supports, and response to intervention and the school counselor's involvement, align the components of ASCA National Model to RTL and positive behavior interventions and support, detail the laws and regulations that guide the programs and services for students with differentiated needs, including Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act and Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, describe the characteristics of an idea, classification categories of students with disabilities, and explain the specific steps involved in the special education referral process and IEP developments, or individualized education program developments. I saw the screen move at the corner of my own. I was reading and I took everything in me to not look up. I think that's great and amazing. I'm glad you're expressing yourself and doing things for yourself that are important to you. And I'm okay, just tired, thinking about career in college, special education. I mean, yeah, like those kids are awesome and they really need advocates because like certain states don't follow the law and so they're not getting their needs met, which sucks for them. So the adults in their lives really matter. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I am literally taking this semester. Whoa. So, if you are thinking about a certain career, I have to do 2 research thingies about 2 careers that might help someone. So if you want me to research 2 careers for you, let me know. But they can't be like I don't think he wants it to be like something I'm interested in. He wants it to be for someone else. But so if you have any ideas, let me know, because I was just going to keep asking people until someone had an idea. I'll shoot you. Oh my god. The thing said, don't allow it because the person said, I'll shoot you. Those are 2 very different things. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of helper roles. It kind of depends what you like, because I could tell you there's a lot of people in counseling where it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be in counseling, but there's people in counseling who have moved to social work because they were like, I wasted time here, I should have been in social work. Like that's more my thing, because they want the group and systems approach and more of the community approach and more of the hands-on, like dealing with like trauma and dealing with like people who like really really need it. So social work would be that more so. School counseling, and then if you like trauma, there's emergency responders, like the people who respond to like wildfires, and those people need trauma responders. So you're not a counselor, you're like a first, what are they called, first responder. And so you determine like you basically go in and determine who needs immediate help, who needs just a little bit of help, or who is okay. And it's like really intense. I don't know that I could do first responding things because of just my trauma. Yeah, but I think it's like it's a lifelong journey now that you have figured out that you have autonomy. Like I still gaslight myself like, oh, I could do whatever I want, because before I would do things that I wanted, but I also did things because of how people would perceive them. And now it's kind of nice to just figure out like, what do I actually like what gives me joy about a certain job. And so I think with the possibilities of counseling for me, I like those options. I like that I could be in a school, and then I like that I could leave the school and go into my own individual practice. And if I hate that because it's lonely or because I don't have any like people to work with, then I could go back into a school or do something else. But some people want to like that's too boring for them. They want like in the like all the where the people actually need it, like it's emergency stuff. And I don't think I could do that. I get really anxious around things like that. I can deal with it, but it gives me anxiety. I'd rather not, because then it's not healthy for me since I have so much like you know. Yep, you can do what you want. That's the thing. I mean, and the cool thing about helping is I would recommend you read Burnout before you like start the work. It's a book called Burnout. It's about like basically the stress cycle of women and a lot of the societal pressures that are put on women and a lot of the perceived pressures of like choices and other things about things. My therapist like gave me that homework before I started grad school, and she said it was really important and it really helped me. So I would read that, and then I would also read, it's a book called The New Codependency, because it's just really true for me how much I was like, what you said triggered me right now, because that's true for me too, is like I would just do what everyone else wanted me to do because it was easy for me and I didn't care. But it turns out I do care. It's just I didn't have the self-confidence yet to just be who, or figure out who I wanted to be. So now that I'm at that level, I'm like, okay, let's put it all together and make our best guess of what I want to do. It's not going to be perfect because nothing's perfect, but at least with the things I know I like. Okay, now I'm going to read. I'm going to shut up. I think that's all I think. Yeah, and there's a counseling that is just for trauma responders, because like there's people in my field that specialize in therapizing people in the emergency field, because you get something called secondhand trauma. So from treating people who are always traumatized, you yourself become traumatized from their trauma, from witnessing all their trauma. And so yeah, so then those helpers need helpers to help them with it's hard. So that's why they try to teach like really strong boundaries with your feelings and emotion and your empathy, because it could weigh on you that you're witnessing so much grief and so much loss and so much hurt and pain that you can't fix. You can only help or support or be there. I am very empathetic, but grad school taught me to I can still have all my feelings towards a person. I can still feel sadness or anger on their behalf because of something that happened to them. I can still understand that and share that with them, but it's not also something that, me taking it with me is going to fix it for them. Nor do they want me to feel that. Because it's not gonna help them. And if they do want me to feel their pain, then that's something that is normal for people who don't feel good. They want to project it onto other people. So it's just one of those things where I understand it. But I'm going to stop feeling other people's pain. In so much as I can, because I can't, like, that doesn't help. That doesn't fix it. Okay, now I'm back to reading. And your answer, yeah. But I think with that, it's like voicing, like, I'm angry for you that this happened to you. But then it's asking them, like, what do you need? Like, do you need support? Do you need advice? Do you need me to advocate? Yeah, because a lot of times when someone tells you something that happened to them and you, I don't know, a lot of times people will take over and sometimes people want that, but sometimes it, because I cannot think of another word, it disables the person from getting stronger. Because other people fight their fights instead of supporting them and fighting their fights. Okay. Yeah. Exactamundo. I mean, I think just based off, like, you fit, with all our conversations that we've had, you fit the bubble of helper umbrella. So it's just like picking which one fits your personality better. And some of them require more school. Some of them, like, for example, I learned social work at my school is fully online. So you don't even have to go to school for social work. And it's like a great degree. But for my courses for counseling, I have to go in person, and I prefer that because I get distracted online and at home, obviously. So it's just better for me to be in person. Okay, focus. Yeah, of course. I could tell you are a genuine person just from your online personality. So, I don't like all people, but I just like people who have like what's the I don't know, kindness. Is kindness so hard? I don't know. Kindness for everyone. Not well, kindness for everyone just based on the fact that they're human. But like you could not like assholes. That's fine. Or like racists because, okay, the end. Okay. Focus. Yeah, I know you get it. Oh my god, I don't want to read this. Okay, focus. Individuals. Okay, the other problem is I know a little bit about this because I was a teacher. And so, therefore, I could probably just skim it and I would just refresh my brain. I might do that. You're so nice. Thank you. Like, you made me smile. Oh, thanks. It made me feel good. I got a job. Well, it's not a real. Oh, no, it's a real job. It's just 10 hours a week, though. I'm a research assistant for my professor. I'm gonna do research for her. I'm excited. Okay, now I'm focused. Even if you write something, I'm gonna wait until these 3 minutes are up. Because I'm strong in my will. Like, teachers qualified to teach special education are in short supply in many districts across the United States. The current teacher student ratio is 17 to 1, represents a steady climb for the past 2 decades. And this was written in 2022. So that was 3 years ago. So it's probably worse now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so if you I mean, if you like that, then if you were going into counseling, I would say to your theories would probably be like the theories I liked were also the ones that focused on systems and like all the layers that go into a human being, because I don't ever think it's one thing. And if you're a person who overthinks or has ADHD, I think you need to be able to figure out all those things. I think for someone like my husband who like doesn't have that bleh, like normal cognitive therapy where it's like, here's the problem, here's my feelings on it or whatever, and then like they figure out the solution. But for me, I need to figure out all the shit behind my perceived issues with it to figure out, I don't know, like it's just, for me, I need all the whys behind things, and I like that, but it also takes longer. This box is just in my head. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's what I hope. That's what counselors are supposed to do. But also, I've seen interviews of people who are like counselors but they have the degree I'm getting. I haven't gotten the degree yet, but they have the degree I'm getting, and they're fucking stupid, or they say stupid shit, and it's like, okay, it's not all equivalent. Oh no. Okay. So since I talked through that, I'm gonna use the 5 minutes to read. Maybe that's what I need, 5-minute reading and 20-minute talking. I'm opposite. I'm an emotion doctor. Yeah. I mean, I think counselors, well, I'm not a doctor. Counselors are not doctors. Unless you get your PhD, then you are. But I think all counselors, to some extent, focus on emotions. They might not tell you they're focusing on emotions, but to some extent, they focus on your emotions. Did you do the world goal today? No. I fell asleep. Also, do I know you in real life? Are you a I don't remember who it's. How do you know I do Wordles? Yeah, I know, so just sit up. I don't remember. A nice guy sounds weird. Ian. Nice guy Ian? I don't know anyone named. Who's Ian? What? I'm fucking. My trauma's going up. I need to read for school. Tell me who you are right now, or I'm good. I'm so lost. Who's named Ian? No, you just stop saying sorry. What? Stop saying sorry. Stop saying sorry unless you're sorry, because women say sorry too much. Because you shouldn't be sorry about that. Ian. Go timeout, bro. Timeout. I don't actually believe in timeout for children, but for adults, yes. Go to timeout. Fucking Ian. Jesus Christ. It's okay, I'm not actually mad, but I am trying to focus on reading, and this is getting really hard now. But it's not y'all, it's me. I'm obviously on here, but there's usually never anyone here. And now I'm super distracted because there's other people here. And Ceci was here, and I love Ceci. Haven't talked to Ceci in a very long time. Okay, back to learning about what the fuck job? Individuals. Oh, specific learning disabilities in schools. Yay. The largest category for students receiving learning disability services is special education services. Of the 7.2 million students who receive services, approximately 2.37, oh my god, 33%, there, that's easier, receive services for specific learning disabilities. Blah, blah, blah. A specific learning disability is... Okay, this is where I think that a lot of people would get diagnosed if we actually did testing that was... well, I don't think we have the resources to test every single student, so we only test the students who are suffering greatly. But I think, for example, I have a form of dyslexia, but I was smart enough to figure out how to mask the dyslexia, so that no one would notice, and no one, like, I would just have to like work extra hard in my brain to do it, and it was good enough that everyone, like teachers, didn't care, because they had like students who literally could not read, so someone stuttering on a word wasn't like the worst thing in the world. But if it was significant, then they would, and I noticed that, so then I just taught myself. See, it's all this shit, like, that's what neurodivergent people do, is they like live inside their brain to be like perfect, and then like it just tires us out. So I'm done trying to mask, but I still obviously have a lot of perfectionism in me because I like doing a good job. Anyways, back to reading. Okay, medical information on vision, hearing, and oh my god, boring. Oh my god, texting. Are we supposed to get an email? From what? Guys, why are y'all using the group chat for your individual classes? That's annoying. Okay. MTS, multi-tiered system of supports. MTSS is not a special education initiative, but rather supports students receiving special education services as well as all students. MTSS is designed for early intervention and support in academics, behavior, and social emotional needs and attendance. MTSS, a culturally sustaining, evidence-based framework, uses data-based problem solving to integrate academic and behavioral instruction and intervention at tiered intensities to improve the learning and social emotional functioning of all students. Oh shit, I didn't even finish reading this part. I skipped over it. Hold on, I should probably read about like the different learning disabilities. Okay, so language spoken or written that may manifest itself in the imperfect ability to listen, think, speak, read, write, spell, or do mathematical calculations, including conditions such as perceptual disabilities, brain injury, minimal brain dysfunctions, dyslexia, and developmental aphasia. What's developmental aphasia? Let's look that up. Developmental aphasia. A language impairment in children where their language skills don't develop at the expected rate for their age. Also known as developmental dysphagia. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, continuing. Okay, MTSS is an umbrella term under which response to intervention, RTI, and positive behavioral interventions and supports, PBIS, fall. RTI is typically a 3-tiered system to help outline students who are struggling. Through some districts, use of 4-tier outlines. All students begin in Tier 1 with general classroom instruction. My Jesus Christ, I'm gonna mute this group chat. Mute it. Stop talking. I don't care. Next. Fuck, what did I just read? All students begin in Tier 1 with general classroom instruction. When student needs are not met in Tier 1, they progress to Tier 2, which includes small group and intensified intervention. From there, struggling students move into Tier 3, which includes intensive individualized support. For school counselors, Tier 1 is classroom curriculum, in which all students in the classroom or assembly receive instructions. Tier 2 generally means small group counseling or behavior management programs. Students in Tier 2 will also benefit from Tier 1, however, because they require more intensive support, they also are afforded Tier 2. If Tiers 1 and 2 are not sufficient, then a school counselor may move a student to Tier 3 or to individual counseling. A student who has been identified as qualifying and receiving special education services may still receive MTSS, such as the more intense reading instruction in Tier 2. Oof, okay, that's actually good to know. Using RTI, school personnel identify students at risk or what? Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Using RTI, we identify student risk for weaker learning outcomes, monitor student progress, provide evidence-based interventions, and adjust the intensity and nature of those interventions depending on the student's responsiveness. RTI is for all students and helps blur the lines between general and special education. Positive behavior and interventions and supports PBIS. PBIS focuses on developing and maintaining a positive school climate and culture. Blah, blah, blah. PBIS is based on a problem-solving model, which aims to target inappropriate behavior through instruction and reinforcement of appropriate behavior, and is tailored to individual school needs. Blah, 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 blah. School counselors recognize the critical importance of differentiated instruction and early intervention for students who are struggling. The work of school counselors is closely aligned with the philosophy of PBIS, and in particularly with the delivery of preventative activities through the school counseling curriculum and preventative responsive services. PBIS can be compared to the ASCA mindsets and behaviors. Blah, 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 blah. If a student has greater needs, they are involved in Tier 2 or 3 interventions, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so summary is there's 3 tiers. First tier is all students, which is psychoeducation to the entire school. Second tier is small group counseling, pull-outs for students who need more intervention. And tier 3 is individual counseling to students who need even more support, and or other types of individual help, or referring out if the student has psychological needs that the counselor cannot provide services for. Cool. Boring. Okay. Step 1. Connect the mission of your counseling to the mission of your school. Step 2. Create an assessment to evaluate the effectiveness of your counseling program or counseling, whatever thing you're trying to implement. Step 3, analyze it to see if there have been improvements on the targeted goal that aligns with the mission of your school. And step 4, unite the stakeholders, which means like show other school counselors, other school administrators, teachers, students, parents, community members, blah, 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 like why you think the intervention that you're doing is important and how it affects them positively. Step 5, figure out how to show people results in pretty pictures so that they're like, ooh, look at what this person has done for the mental health of our school that has positively impacted our mission of the school, which has also impacted all these stakeholders. Jesus Christ, it sounds like politics. I mean, I kind of have fun with it, but it does sound like politics. Oh, sorry, it's the loft. Baby doesn't help me sleep and gain weight and never. That's amazing! Yay! If you need so psychiatrists are usually there for I don't know if they're gonna do counseling with you, but usually they're there to just continue your medicine and see that your medicine is working for you and ask you how your mental health is in terms of your medicine, and they'll adjust medicine or switch medicines. But I would still, if you can and you have the resources to look for a mental health counselor of some kind, because that's more like the wellness wholeness, and I think you really appreciate that piece. And I just know that usually psychiatrists don't do that part. They're going to be managing your medicine and your mood and your general effect because of that stuff. But counseling kind of gets deeper into why you're having those symptoms and why you need Zoloft, for example. I still take my medicines, but it's still helping to figure out why is it that I am this way? Okay, so step 5, give results. Step 6, educate. Oh, basically. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Categories of disabilities under federal law: autism. Thanks, RJK. Deafness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, other health impairments, specific learning disabilities. Okay, so section 504 is an individual with a disability as one who has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. So, for example, this is where ADHD would fall under if I was diagnosed back in the day. This is also where, for example, someone in a wheelchair might also fit because they have a severe physical limitation that needs to be addressed by the school. Blah, 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 blah. So anyways, there's a spectrum of 504 things that fall under 504. And some states do it weird, and some kids get fucked over because of that weirdness of what falls under what, because some are better than others, obviously. But anyways, the point of this is, as a counselor, you should know about this because you should advocate for the rights of the 504 kids because they have certain needs that the school will not give them if they are not diagnosed with this. And it shouldn't be labeled as a bad thing. It should be taught to that student that it is because their brain thinks differently. And so therefore we're just providing scaffolding for that, and it's not that they're dumber or less than the other kids. It's just some people need support in this, and it doesn't. I mean, I'll be better at explaining it when I'm doing it. My brain is tired and I want to just get through this. Okay, next. Oh, cool. I mean, that's what I'm I wrote this down because that's what my therapist told me we were working on. And I was like, that sounds stupid. It sounds like I'm 3 years old and I'm I need to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. But I think it's just true your whole life. Yeah. That I'm figuring out that I am a confident person compared to in my professional and educational settings, but me myself, I'm still figuring myself out, so I'm still working on that. Okay. Over-identified, over-represented youth in special education. So obviously more how do I say this? Here, I'll just let the book say it. For instance, there is an over-identification of Black boys for admission into special education in the emotional disturbance category. Many factors contribute to this, such as poverty and access to the most qualified teachers. So, for example, very highly qualified teachers are usually found at predominantly white schools because those schools are usually in higher socioeconomic areas of town, which means more resources for the teacher, usually better pay, but also less behavior issues because there's parent support and parents have time and resources and access to provide that support to the schools. So at a predominantly Black neighborhood, those schools might not have as many resources. They usually don't have as many resources, and so therefore there's a lot of what's that word? When people quit. There's a lot of people quitting, and every year, what's that word? I don't know. No one said it yet. There's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of turnover at poorer schools that are usually brown or Black schools, predominantly schools of color. And so therefore there might not be high quality, there might not be adults there who are not stretched out and doing 2 or 3 other people's jobs. So people fall through the cracks, or it's just not the ideal setting for students to be in. Whereas if they were in another setting, they might get the resources and the help that they need. But at a school like this, since everyone might be in more of a crisis, there's not enough time or individuals or resources or breathing room to even reach students. Okay, continue. Blah, 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 blah. So basically we know systemic racism exists. And so because we know systemic racism exists, we always know that there will be white privilege. Let's just not sugarcoat that. Point blank period. Specifically white male privilege, because a lot of, like in my world, a lot of the diagnosis, a lot of the research, a lot of the money invested in counseling is spent on white males. And that's also true for the medical field, right? A lot of the research is spent on white males. That's why there's not a lot of research on females going through certain things, or on the reproductive hormone stuff, or, the sky's the limit. Yeah, it's a really, it is really sad. I mean, there are things you could do, and I think that's something you're looking into. Or volunteering, even if you don't want to invest your career, even just mentoring a student or tutoring, or there's a lot of ways to help, even if it's not gonna fix it. And I think that's the point, is we're not gonna fix the whole system, but we could help individuals. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. You should look up volunteer tutoring opportunities, or even look up ways to get paid, because I know my schools, there's a program called AVID, which is for kids looking to go to college, and we would hire tutors that would go into the classes and do the tutorials with the kids, and they would get, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was $15 an hour or something. That would be great. That would be great. My husband was literally the whole day talking about, and yesterday, how he wishes there were 2 of him, because it's hard to do everything. Okay, I'm not gonna read this whole thing. Looking back. Okay, instructional needs for all students, social justice agenda, response to intervention, special education, school counselor's role, blah, 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 Okay. Now I'm going to go to my course and submit my discussion post and hopefully not dox myself. Double checking, we're good. Okay, wrong class. Okay, I did that. Did I submit it? I submitted it. Hello. Ceci, I should make you a mod here. You've been here long enough. Remember that guy Ian who gaslit me though? Like a few minutes ago? I really thought I knew him. How do you know I do Wordle? I think I just look like a kind of girl that does Wordle. But I did literally not do my Wordle last night. I went to bed. Okay, sorry, focus. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. See, I did it too. See, Sussy? I said sorry. Shouldn't say sorry. Required TA dyslexia model. I will take that later. Dyslexia resources. I will look at that later. Dyslexia PowerPoint. I will look at that later. Okay, discussion post. Due tomorrow. Reply. But please post a question. Okay, that's easy. Mine's gonna be a politically charged question. With the way politicians are currently speaking about populations that fall under this chapter's Shit, I should just use the words instead of just trying to make up the words. Fall under Where did it say autism? I'm gonna do the autism. Obviously. Where did you say autism, sir? Man. Thing. Holy shit. I know I read it. Where was it? Not here. Not here. Not here. There it is. Categories of disabilities. Populations that fall under this chapter. Factors, eligibility for special education. I'm writing this dumb. With the way politicians are currently speaking about, I'm gonna just say about people with autism. With the way certain politicians are currently speaking about people with autism that fall under this chapter's eligibility for special education, comma, would you, or what advice would you have for speaking to a coworker or parent who might say harmful rhetoric that mimics the language of those currently in power? Shit, is that a good question? It's a good question. Do you have a favorite teacher or professor? Did you already leave? Because of course I do. But hold on, I need to finish this because it's you. Okay, so I wrote, with the way certain politicians are currently speaking about people with autism that fall under this chapter's eligibility for special education. 4. For students eligibility. Students eligibility for special education. How would you, or what advice would you have? How would you and might lead to not seeking services or diagnostic services out of fear of period. Okay. With the way certain politicians are currently speaking about people with autism that fall under this chapter, students' eligibility for special education. How would you start a conversation, or what advice? How would you start a conversation, comma? What if you fear their response or even possible consequences? Even possible job security. Let's just put that right now. What if the parent asked you advice on whether they should not pursue diagnosing their child for something they believe the child has out of fear of current political okay. Jesus Christ, what did we write? What if a parent asked you advice on whether they should not pursue diagnosing their child for something they believe the child has out of fear of current political documentation that they see as a possible threat to their child's safety? Okay, good questions, me. Let's just post that. Pew pew. They don't hold punches. Okay, good job, me. Okay, I'm done with that. Check. Okay, I just need to respond to someone else by, I think next week. I don't know. I should probably do that tomorrow. I need to fill out. I think that's all that was actually due today. Let me see grades. Okay, I just turned that in. I turned that in. I need to go back and make sure that I respond to one of my peers after they fucking turn it in. Which it's due tomorrow, guys. Y'all need to start doing it. I'm the only one who's turned it in so far. I need to respond to one peer post at least by tomorrow, I guess. I'll ask about this some other time, but I know this is a beta topic and you're doing homework. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's also... shit. Look, even I'm like, I think I have some autism in me. And I was like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't say that online because then it'll be online. And then maybe like RFK is going to like add me to the list of like people to send to one of those camps. If that actually happens. But like scary things from Project 2025 have been happening. So like, who's to say who's being crazy right now with like the things that they think are happening because of the things they're trying to pass, even though we are blocking some. The point is that that party is trying to pass really harmful things to certain populations that will be really, really bad for them. And if they are passing, like, this isn't just minorities. This is like poor people, like farmers and like just everyone. Not everyone, but you know, a lot of people. But because only certain things are passing, like for example, the immigration stuff, like people are like, oh, well, it's only affecting the immigrants. So like, and then other people it's affecting, it's like, oh, it's only them. It's not all of us, or blah, 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 blah. Or people have their heads so far up their asses, they don't want to be like, oh shit, we were wrong. I'd be a dog if they lived longer. I think their lives are so short. Probably because they have awesome. Well, if they have good owners, they have awesome lives. But you know. Okay, I'm done with that. Add you till later. I'm supposed to read those chapters, but I don't fucking want to. I mean, I could read these online. Oh, here is a game changer for grad school if you go to grad school or any school. Like, here's the thing is you don't have to read full chapters word for word every single thing. You could either skim it, or another thing I learned, especially from research, because that fucking book I couldn't understand it, and I feel like I'm pretty intelligent, but that book was fucking every paragraph I had to like read it 10 times because I didn't understand what the fuck it was saying. So what you do is you take that chapter and you put it into ChatGPT and you just say, ChatGPT, make this more simple and say it in words that I would understand and explain it better and summarize it. And then it takes like all that chapter and it like turns it into like 3 pages. And then you just read those 3 pages. Boom. Save you time. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna go now because I'm hungry, and then I have raid, and then thank you for coming to see me, Sussy. I missed you. I can do all the hearts now. See, I could do these hearts. Like, oh man, I did learn this one, but now I forgot it. Fuck you. This, did that? Yeah. Did that? That looks dumb. Okay, whatever. Okay, bye.